All right, everybody. I finally made it back, and now we're going to be doing the... Sorry, I got a wasp right above my head somewhere. I can hear him buzzing around. I'm going to start by doing the flywheel side crankshaft bearing. I've already went through and found my sockets and everything, so we should be pretty well set to go here in just a second. All right, here we go. Again, I'm not going to bear down on this at all, really. We're just going to go kind of smooth and straight, try to make sure we get pressed in there all the way. And there it is. Now again, I've not put a whole lot of pressure on this. It does look like I'm putting a little more pressure, but I'm also fighting with an 18-inch breakover bar. All right, I know I've shown it in others, but I'm going to show it again real quick. This is the puller that I use for flywheel side. This is drilled and tapped for 8mm thread. It's just a 3/4 inch bolt and a nut. This is a piece of a black gas pipe. All right. Now we're going to go with the big washer, small washer, and I'm going to thread this onto the end of the crankshaft. Now I'm threading the nut down. All right, pretty snug right there. Let it fall forward. Now when you're doing this, you want to actually try to pay attention to where your crankshaft is in relation to the channels. You want to make sure that your crankshaft is at the top, or even if it's tilted forward, that it can't actually, the rod can't get caught on the crankcase. Now I'm just going to start spinning this down. And there it is, right there. That's all it took right there. So I'm going to back the nut back up. And I've said it in other videos, I'll say it here as well. I didn't spin this down hard. I wasn't putting an unnecessary amount of strain on the crankshaft, because the one place it will break is right here, just past the threads. Right in there, you see where it gets narrow? That can actually break off. We're going to set this stuff over here because I do like to use this, if I can, to actually push my seals into the crankcase. All right, I'm back. Got the Durco on the crankcase, and we're putting the gasket down now, right now. I've already pulled the brand new screws out that came with the gasket set. All right, now for the new crankcase half right here. All right, here we go. All right, well, it's the next day. I wound up just pulling this together, and I didn't realize I didn't hit the camera. But what I got going on here, I'll walk you through it real quick. This right here just threads right onto the end of the crankshaft. And then before I put that on there, I drop a flat washer down here. Thread that on, put that, and then I'll take this puller in and take that down and press it all the way together. That's the way I like to do it. There are a couple different ways. I know some guys like to heat the bearing or heat the crankcase half and put it on there. Now I'm going back with all OEM seals as well. So we're going to go with this one right here. All right. Now, I like to take a little dab of grease real quick, especially from the inside. Just take and dab it all the way around the inside of the seal. That's just a piece of a Monster can. Flare it open a little bit. Now slide the foil all the way down. And that should do it. I'm going to take I'm going to take the flat washer real quick. We're going to try it real quick. All right, flat washer. I pulled the foil out. Spacer. All right, now this does not take very much pressure at all. All right, that was it right there. All right, well, I had to deal with my puppy dogs barking at the neighbors, but that was perfect right there. Okay, so I probably edited out some of the rambling on the last one. The reason I like pressing it like that is I already have that puller set up, and it works really well. And also, I don't have to worry about this right here. I don't know if you can see very well, but like getting all the way around, just a standard 16-ounce hammer, it doesn't fit real well down there. I can go in there with a punch, and it takes so much longer than just going and hitting it once with the puller and essentially just being done with it right then. When you do it with the puller, you're done in just a few seconds. I think that's good right there. The bottom end is still rotating really nicely. All right. Now we're going to go with the flywheel side seal real quick. I've got a set of rings coming for this as well. And I've also got a brake band. Then all I have left that I have to find is just a, I don't have to find it, I'm trying to find the best price on one. Clutch drum and sprocket. And this should be a pretty good saw by the time it's all said and done. All right, I'm lining that up a little bit, trying to make sure I'm good. All right. As stated on the last one, we're not pressing hard and we're not trying to pull the crankshaft in. We're just pushing that seal in the rest of the way. That was it bottoming out right there. Now we're on to the piston and bearings. So then I just got to wait on that set of rings. Trying not to make the edits too choppy or too rough. This is just 2-stroke motor oil. I just put a little bit on there. Arrow always faces forward. So I don't know if you can see that or not. I think you can, yeah. The arrow will always face forward. Went. The piston went right back in. Now to get the I wound up pulling the piston because to get the crankcase halves to go together, it was just a little bit easier that way. And now I got to see if I can do this without rocketing it off into space. All right, it's all the way in. What's always recommended is whenever you get those in there, make sure and roll it back and forth just a teeny bit if you can, just to kind of confirm that it's all the way down in there. All right, well, I've kind of reached the point where I'm going to have to put the cylinder on to actually finish up. I've got the oil pump on, the piston, brand new seals. So I'm going to end up wrapping this thing up for right now, and I'll be back whenever I get the rings, which shouldn't be very long. It should be, today is a Tuesday, it should be around maybe Friday, but it might be next Monday before I get them. But yeah, that's as far as I can take it right now. I'll be back later, probably on a different saw. Take it easy.